Day one at Wairarapa belonged to Hayden Paddon, totally dominating the day and proving that he's the favourite to defend his title. But this is Wairarapa, and Richard Mason is hard to beat on these stages. And watch out for Jeff Argyle. He claimed the Open Class title for 2009 on day one. Is he set to unleash on day two? Championship hangs in the balance. It's the fight to the finish. Round 4 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. Today the rally heads to the town of Ikitahuna, but first it's an early morning start from Masterton and local hero Richard Mason determined to make it his day.
Hayden got us in the morning on day one really, and sure, he was fairly quick all day. We made a few changes to the car and made some more overnight, so hopefully everything will be all rock and roll for today.
One of your favourite stages, Barton's Line as well? Yeah,
Barton's Line's in there. We always enjoy that stage. Dag's Road's not bad. I've in the past had trouble getting a rhythm in there, but sometimes you come right and it's good.
Hayden day 2 and carry on from day 1, I guess.
Yeah, that's certainly the plan. It's going to be pretty hard work today though, like the roads are a lot more open and there's a lot more gravel around compared to the mud we had on day 1. So we're going to have a work cut out, but for sure we're going to target the first stage again and see if we can put on a bit of a blinder.
So as Trevor Taylor leaves the start in the Championship Zero car, let's find out what's in store for the drivers with our Vantage Stage preview.
Day 2 of the Trust House Race Tech Rally Wairarapa starts at a more reasonable time of 8 a.m. from Masterton. This is the third last opportunity for scoring points in the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship, so the pace is going to be really hot today. Stage 8, Dag's Road, has been used for many years in Rally Wairarapa. This stage starts flowing uphill before tightening up as we start our descent. At 15 kilometres long in length, you just can't afford to be caught napping in this stage. The next stage, Barton's Line, is used locally in rally sprints, so a certain yellow car driver always tends to go very fast in here. Richard? The stage is medium speed to start before a tarmac junction right at a spectator junction, and then the stage opens out to become very fast in many spots. The 22 kilometre stage always seems to go very quickly. Special Stage 10, Central Mangaon, is another great Rally Wairarapa stage. This stage also starts tight and twisty before opening out after the high-speed middle tarmac section. After service at Ikitahuna, we head out to do a small group of 3 stages. Special Stage 11, Quarry Cliff Road, is only 8 kilometres long, but is still a real tricky stage. Not so tight and twisty, and through more open farmland, this stage is still very narrow, and you certainly don't want to end up in the ditches that line the edge of the road. Kopiko Pico is Special Stage 12 and one of the more open and fast stages of the rally. This stage is really good fun to drive on, as the road is quite predictable and the flowing high-speed corners are a real buzz to drive with pace notes. Special Stage 13 is a repeat of Special Stage 10, Central Mangaon. The stage should be a lot cleaner now that the whole field has gone through the stage, although if it has been raining, it could be a lot slipperier in spots. After our final service in Ikitahuna, we head out to the final 2 stages of the day. Mangaoranga is 15 kilometres long and starts in the reverse direction of Barton's Line, which was the second stage this morning. At approximately 8 kilometres, we leave Barton's Line in reverse and head into more tight and twisty terrain. The stage will start swept, but will come a lot looser as we head into the unused part of the road. The final stage, North Road, was used on day 1, so should still have a reasonably clean swept line through the heavy gravel. The stage is a lot of fun to drive, and at 13 kilometres long will be a great way to finish the 4th round of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship.
No change to the start order on day 2, so Hayden Paddon will be first to follow the Zero car into the stage. On day 1, the roads were wet, so he had the advantage. So, Roger Davis, what can we expect on day 2?
Well, the roads are a little bit more open today. There's less mud, and I think there's going to be a big battle between Hayden Paddon and Richard Mason. They've really got to go for it right from the get-go, and I think one of them will make a break early.
So we'll just have to wait and see what the stage times are like again today.
5.
This is the man on a mission. Richard Mason needs to win this day, and he needs as many bonus points as he can get to. And the overall rally win is very important.
Short.
Yes, very important for Richard today.
3 right.
Like we were saying before with Hayden, he's really got to make a good start and try and make a break. Very familiar with these roads. Maybe running 2 on the road today could be an advantage as opposed to day 1 where Hayden had an advantage. You see a little bit of gravel there on the road early, so a swept line for the cars later on will be a lot better for them. Oh, looks like Richard hit a rock just on the inside of that corner.
So Hayden Patton is through to the finish line, a time of 9 minutes 32.3, certainly not record pace.
Hayden first up this morning.
It's quite loose with the gravel there, and obviously the last part of it, there's a bit of rain, but there's a bit of tarmac there in the middle that's a bit damp. It doesn't look damp, and God, is it slippery. We nearly descended straight off the side of the road. So probably not as good a start as yesterday, but hey, we're here.
So can Richard Mason start the day with a stage win?
Well, you can see the gravel on the road, as Hayden Patton was saying earlier, very slippery, and that's the reason why, because there's quite a build-up of gravel. Look at Richard through this corner. But he's looking good for a good time here, Clint.
Down to the line. Yes, 9 minutes 28.2. Good job from Sarah. That's the call. He's the fastest.
Richard, you've just gone 4 seconds quicker than Hayden.
Yeah, I made a bit of a mistake in there too. Sarah called a don't cut on a corner and it didn't compute, and I cut the corner and bent the left front A-arm, so it's not quite as nice as it was at the start of the stage, and I took it a bit quiet in the centre to just to make sure that it didn't have a puncture or something like that, you know. So
could that affect the next 2 stages?
Oh, it feels okay, you know, like just the steering wheel's in the wrong place. It's not quite as nice, but, you know, it puts you off, you know. You got to make sure that you're not going to crash it in the next corner because you got a puncture and you haven't realised or something.
Emma Gilmore should have started next, but a problem at the start has held her up, so it's Jeff Argyle who'll start at 3. He talked about having a bit of a go today.
Well, Jeff's got nothing to lose, and he won a championship 10 years ago, so maybe today he's just going to have a crack at Hayden and also Richard and Emma.
His time, 9:52.4, still well down on Mason. Still no sign of Gilmore, so the next car through is Glenn Inkster. The crew had a busy night fixing this car again.
Yes, they did. They must be getting used to this. They fixed the gearbox in this car. Glenn Inkster's another one. He can't win the Open title, so I'd suggest today he'll be going for it as well. And he looks like he's got a bit of pace on here, but you can see it's quite slippery.
3 right, 30. 5 right. Here. 5 right minus.
Inky said on day 1 he drove the stage of his career. Then, of course, that was before the car broke. So will the Open class cars be able to use their superior power today? Let's check out Inky's time. 9:51 seconds.
9:50 anti-lag.
Not a great time. Strong start now for Sloane Cox, starting 8th on the road here.
Well, being 8 on the road will probably be the ideal situation here because you can see the line there already. But you don't really want to get off that line because you lose a lot of time.
And his time, 9 minutes 54. And a great start, too, to the day for Josh Marston, the Canterbury driver, just half a second behind Cox on the stage. Day 1 rookie leader Kingsley Thompson off the pace here. Well, if you can call half a second off the pace, 9 minutes 55. Stephen Barker rounding out the top 10 with a time of 9 minutes 58.4, to just 7.4 seconds between 4th and 10th place on the stage. Emma Gilmore had been delayed at the start in Masterton with a faulty fuel pump. When she finally reached the start, she'd already lost 2 minutes and 10 seconds in penalties.
5 left plus target.
Well, that's a bad start, effectively given the whole field a 2-minute 10 head start. So Emma's on catch-up mode. The only advantage she's got now is she's got a nice cleared road.
3 right tight, 2 short narrow, 4 left minus, just short 3 right tight to 2.
And her stage time was a good one too, 3rd fastest, 9 minutes 40, but with that penalty, she would start the day in last place. So it's Richard Mason setting an early pace, closely followed by Hayden Patton, and then Inky rounding out the top three.
3.9 seconds separate 6th to 9th place, and Karen Hall right in the middle in 8th place.
Stick around, more action coming up on day 2 of Rally Wairarapa. Welcome back as we go down to the line. Yes, stage 9, Barton's line, a popular spectator spot on day 2 of Rally Wairarapa. The fans have come out along with the sunshine. Richard Mason has had the advantage here in the past, but this is Hayden Patton's 3rd time at the rally, and he smashes the stage record by 2.3 seconds. So if stage records are going to go today, will it be this man who can go one better and set a new record? Remember that Richard Mason caught out on the stage a few years ago, so it's important that it's maximum concentration.
Yes, this is one of Richard's favourite stages, but it is maximum concentration. He knows he's only got a slender lead over Hayden Patton at the moment, and judging by Hayden Patton's pace on this stage, he's really got to work hard.
So let's see what Mason can do. Remember, the old record was 12 minutes 47.4. Patton's already gone better with 12 minutes 45.1. And Mason, no, 12:47.1. So Mason leads by 2 seconds. Emma Gilmore moving up the start order as fast as she could, so wasn't being held up by the slower competitors on these short stages.
Well, it's very important for Emma to focus here and concentrate and not overdrive the car because of the 2-minute 10-second penalty. She's already a little bit down on time already in this stage, I think, on the top 2.
So her time through here, 13 minutes 02.8. She moves from 24th to 16th in one stage. Aside from Mason and Patton, this was the next battle. Glenn Inkster trying to beat his fellow open class competitor Jeff Argyle for 3rd place.
6 left minus onto now.
Well, we saw on day 1, Glenn Inkster modified his style a lot smoother, but today looks like he's throwing the car around a little bit more.
13 minutes 05.8 Inkster's time, and 13 minutes 09.9 for Argyle. So Inkster holds 3rd place by 5.5 seconds. Kingsley Thompson, the big mover on this stage, 6th fastest, moving from 7th to 5th overall. Karen Hall also on the move, just 1.5 seconds slower than Thompson, and up to 6th place. And Stephen Barker also on the move. 8th fastest on the stage, now up to 7th. So a tight tussle in this group. Man under the pressure is Sloane Cox.
Well, Sloane's one of the drivers in this big battle for the minor money, and all these young guys are really trying, and Sloane is as well at this stage.
And unfortunately for Sloane, one wide moment. Drops him 3 places down to 8th. So after a great start too in the first stage, Josh Marston dropped 20 seconds and also fell 3 places to be 12 seconds behind Cox. And 9 seconds in front of this man, Matt Jansen.
7 left at gate. Tightens to a 6.
Well, Matt Jansen's job today is to stay in touch with Karen Hall for that rookie battle.
50.
And Alex Kelsey, 12th fastest on the stage, 11th overall, now up 4 places, turning out to be his best rally weekend. The Fiesta battle resumed with Nelson driver Ben Hunt taking the Class 1 on the first stage, just under 2 seconds ahead of Daniel Harris. But on stage 9, Harris struck back and took 12th place outright, moving into the class lead. The championship leader Ben Jagger was 3rd on the first stage, 5 seconds behind Hunt. Remember, for him, it's all about retaining his championship lead. This was a close battle too. Patrick Malley 4th on the first stage, but bolted through Barton's line to move back up to 3rd in the class. 8 seconds separating these 4 drivers now. And with his brake problem sorted, Aaron Cook set about getting to know his new car, which hasn't yet delivered its potential. He was ahead of the other Nelson Junior driver, Dominic Unterberger. Campbell Wilson had been the fastest open two-wheel drive on stage 1, but missed a gear here at Barton's line, and that would cost him dearly, dropping 3 places behind Matt Summerfield. With Reg Cook not able to re-enter day 2 after his crash, the Skoda driver looked set to claim the open two-wheel drive title if he finished the day in this position, which would be an historic win for a biofuel car in the New Zealand Rally Championship. Ewan Fuge leading the classics in the sideways style. But all Mike Cameron had to do was finish the day to be in the prime position to take that title. Didn't stop him from trying hard, though. Giving the snappers a snapshot. So it's still Richard Mason, but look at that lead, just 2.1 seconds. Inkster now in a close battle for third.
Kieran Hall's been the big mover up into 6th place. Matt Jansen now down to 10th.
So just one more stage before service, 15.6 kilometres through central Mangaone. Hayden Patton first through the stage, responding to the pressure that Richard Mason's been applying. Having proved that he's the fastest on day 1, he wouldn't want to drop the overall rally lead here. His time, 8 minutes 33.8.
3, 2, 1. Go 100.
And if Richard Mason has had an advantage here, it's probably more psychological than anything else. The reality is now that most of the other competitors now know what to expect from these stages, just like Mason.
Yes, they do reconnaissance, so they've been over them a few times, and also they've used this stage quite often in the Masters and Rally. So most drivers will be very familiar. Richard, 2.1 second lead. He's really got to stay on it through here. Well, with only 2.1 seconds in it, both Richard and Hayden will be on the absolute limit, trying to get the edge.
Coming down to the finish, fast part of the stage. Let's see what Mason can do.
Airborne over that bridge. He's gone wide. He's big crash here.
Oh, Mason! Oh, he's over! Well,
We're going to get out.
drama on day 2. Richard Mason rolls out of the rally. Unbelievable, his home event.
We came over a little bridge and jumped a bridge, and as we landed, we've broken the right rear wheel and turned into the left-hander, and it's just washed out, gone up the bank, and then hit the front, and then spun around and slid down the road. I thought we were going to get away with it for a while. It was just sliding along, and I was looking out the window going, hey, this is going to come to a stop, and I'm going to be able to hook reverse and sort it out. And then just at the last moment, the broken wheel just dug in and spat us over, and then we couldn't get the thing back on the wheels.
Well, if Hayden Patton wins today, then Emma Gilmore must score at least 8th place to keep the championship alive.
And Emma will be charging through these stages because she can start making it. As she goes past Richard Mason, she knows she's already won further up on the field.
Narrow bridge.
Would have got a hell of a shock, though, seeing Mason's car like that.
250.
So she's just got to stay in here today and just move up as much as she can.
Patton's tight, 8 minutes 33. Looks like Emma will be slower, 8 minutes 43.9. And with Mason gone, Jet Argyle now moves into a podium position. His time through the stage, 8 minutes 50.6.
4 right minus.
And Glenn Inkster
Tarmac.
could be second if he beats Argyle on the stage. Oh, he's lost it.
Careful.
And we get it. Again.
Long 7 right plus.
Well, what
Kings
caught Glenn out was he was coming along the gravel, hit the tarmac's wet, no traction, spun the car around.
Don't go wide.
So we're doing donuts today on day 2 of Rally Wairarapa.
Junction. 200.
Needs a time of 8 minutes 56 to be in second. Let's see what he can do.
Well, he's driving with big commitment today. Like we said, throwing the car around a little bit.
Narrow concrete bridge, 100. 7 right minus. 250 here. 30, 5 left after finish. 30, 5 left.
8:57.2, so he'll drop to third. So close. And Kieran Hall jumped 2 places to move up to 4th place.
Well, that's sideways. He's certainly trying here.
Driving the pants off the Subi.
Tightens to a 3, into a 4 right.
Matt Jansen is leading both rookie and junior championship, so he needs to stay in touch with Hall and Thompson to be in a position to fight for the title at round 5 in Nelson.
To a 7 right.
Well, at the moment, he's slower than both of them.
To a 7 right, tightens to a 3 late.
Unfortunately, Josh Marston suffered a mechanical failure in the stage. He was delayed, dropping him to last place. And Sloane Cox saw all of his hard work go, well, down the drain. So what a turnaround in the rally. Hayden Paddon now with a 1-minute lead over Jeff Argyle, who has just a 1.1 second lead over Glenn Inkster.
Emma Gilmore keeps the championship alive. She's moved up into 8th place.
Had a great scrap with the Ford Fiestas. Daniel Harris just 3 seconds in front of Ben Hunt.
And amazingly, Lee Stringer's back in the action today after day 1's crash.
But sadly, Richard Mason's hopes of a championship now look dashed. His focus is Rally Australia coming up in September.
We really didn't plan to wreck the car before we went there, so, you know, we've got a bit of extra work to do now. We've got to fix the car, get it ready, chuck it in a container and get it off to Rally Australia. And then we've got rid of all our bad luck now. We've destroyed all that. Now we're going to fly in Australia.
Hayden Paddon will also go to Australia as he attempts to become the 2010 Pirelli Star Driver winner. But for now, his sights are set on the win here.
You know, now with a bit of a buffer we got, we can back it back a notch or two. Just drive at a comfortable pace, but we've got to still concentrate on the job and make sure we make no mistakes.
A trying morning for Emma Gilmore, but she'd made some good progress though.
We had a very stressful start to the morning. We had problems starting the car this morning, and then when we turned up to the start control, we were about to go into our time, and the car just died, and it didn't want to restart. So very frantic. 13 minutes before we got the car going again, and then we got in and got going with the day. But we're still not 100% sure. We think that might be the fuel pump, and that's what we're now going to try and change for the next group of stages.
Jeff currently 2nd place at the moment.
Yeah, it's very good. Aren't doing anything special, but obviously Richard rolled in there and put us up in 2nd.
You get a little bit held up in that stage with Richard.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. I was concerned because he's obviously trying to still get Sarah out of the other side of the car, and I started pulling up and then he gave me the thumbs up, so we went on.
Glenn Inkster's 3rd place at the moment. He's only 2 seconds behind you.
Oh yeah, well we'll just see what happens through the rest of the day. If he's fairly close to the last 2, then we'll try and open up again, but we haven't got a lot to do today, so...
But the South Island driver, Glenn Inkster, didn't quite realise just how close he was as he came into service.
I haven't been able to see any times. I think we beat him maybe by a little bit in the first 2 stages, and then we spun on the last stage and dropped a little bit of time, so it's certainly all to play for this afternoon.
Kieran Hall, 4th place overall, and really enjoying the battle for the rookie title.
Yeah, Kingsley Thompson's been the surprise of the weekend, and it's quite a good battle now for the rookie championship with him in there.
Yeah, he's only 5 seconds behind you.
Yeah, we're going to battle all day with him, I'd say, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
And after sliding off into a drain, Sloane Cox was left with a bit of explaining to do.
We came out of the 2nd stage today and had hit a rock at the end and put the toe out in the back left, and coming into the 3rd stage, just coming into one of the first Ks, turned to a corner and just understeered forward into a bank, and that caused the car to get a bit of damage and pop the back tyre off.
Yeah, a little bit of damage, they can probably fix it.
Yeah, it's all going to be fixed in service. If we have to take a penalty, we're going to take a penalty and fix the car properly so we can get back out there in the afternoon and get good stage times.
And stick around, can anyone catch Hayden Paddon in the chase for the championship? Welcome back to day 2 of Rally Wairarapa. Great to see the fans out and enjoying the action. Getting some skids. Hayden Paddon could now cruise home with a 1-minute lead, but instead he chose to push even harder and extended that lead to 1 minute and 4 seconds. Jeff Argyle had the open class tied up for the season, so he was determined not to let Glenn Inkster get past into 2nd. Argyle 4 minutes 49.2 on the stage. But equally, Glenn Inkster wasn't about to let a chance go by to finish 2nd, especially after all of his setbacks he's had so far this season.
6 right, 150.
Well, you can see Glenn here, he's trying really hard. This will be spectacular because this guy is one of the most spectacular rally drivers in the country, and he's only just over a second behind Argyle for 2nd place. And closing, I think.
300.
Let's see what he can do. 4 minutes 29.4, just slower, so he stays third. Emma Gilmore fourth fastest, but she would struggle to make up any more places as she was now on the tail of the other Group N cars. Kieran Hall losing just 10 seconds on this stage, but it meant that he was now under pressure from Kingsley Thompson. Thompson, sixth fastest on the stage and still fifth overall, but the gap to Hall was just 1.2 seconds, so he was poised to move up.
Well, that's a rather unusual approach to that corner. He's thrown a few rocks out as well.
Sloane Cox was faster on the stage than these two, but he would spend the remaining stages battling down the end of the field after losing all that time this morning when he slid into that drain.
Well, Sloane's got the same problem as Emma Gilmore. He's now in catch-up mode, so he's got to concentrate and not overdrive the car. Well, he's using all the road and some here.
And this battle for the rookie title became very interesting when Matt Jansen became the next victim on these tricky roads in the Wairarapa.
Well, you can see there Matt's got a nice road to drive on, but he's really got to push to stay in touch with the others.
Into a 6 left, over crest.
And he's pushed a little bit too hard.
Don't go backwards.
Stephen Barker was keeping in touch too, tied on this stage with Thompson, now just 7 seconds behind in sixth, with Emma Gilmore now in seventh, over a minute behind. And battles within battles. Daniel Harris leading out the Fiesta class, but it was tight with every second counting. And after winning the class on day one, Ben Hunt was also fighting hard, just 1.2 seconds behind. Just to make things interesting, Patrick Malley, he picked up the pace here. He was now just 2 seconds behind Hunt and 10th place overall.
Well, Patrick's driving this thing like a rear-wheel drive. Throwing it into that corner. Listen to the revs coming out of this turn. Go for it, Patrick.
14 Ks through Kupiko. Now that Hayden Paddon had established such a command on the rally, maybe time to sit back and play it safe.
Well, it's so easy to catch yourself out when you sit back and play it safe. Just like that, he's just missed a gear.
So it's still a battle of concentration for the rally leader.
And Hayden knows that because he's back on pace here.
Chance to take a stranglehold of the championship too. So the real battle now is for second place, the two open class cars. First, here's Jeff Argyle, a time of 8 minutes 34.1. So now could Glenn Inkster redeem himself after a season of small mishaps? It's left him out of contention. Can he take second place?
Well, the previous stage, Jeff Argyle went a little bit quicker, so Glenn's lost another second, so it's only 2 seconds. But I can tell you, he'll be pushing.
Heading down to the finish, he has to beat 8 minutes 32.8 to move into second place.
60. Long 6 right minus.
Well, look how smooth he's driving now.
Short 7 left plus, tightens to 4.
And with the clock going down here, I think he's on for a really good time.
5 left, cross finish 80. 7 right, tightens to whatever.
Wow, 8 minutes 22.4, that's fantastic. A new stage record. Inkster moves into second. Kieran Hall stays in fourth, and of course, the top place rookie, but still under huge pressure. Stephen Barker on the move behind him, fourth fastest through the stage, now moving up to fifth overall. But it was tight. Kingsley Thompson just 2.8 seconds behind. Seventh place looks like the best that Emma Gilmore can hope for after her morning penalties. But what a day for the 16-year-old Alex Kelsey, now up to 8th place for the day, improving with every stage. The two-wheel drive battle also saw a change as Patrick Malley put in a time of 9 minutes 0.1, moved ahead of Hunt and Harris in the class lead. Daniel Harris slipping back to second by just 2.2 seconds, but he still held a 2.5 lead on day one winner Ben Hunt.
Well, this class was designed to find some young rally talent, and it certainly has done that with this man Ben Hunt, Daniel Harris, and this man Ben Jagger.
And even Jagger was still in touch too. Remember, his focus though very much on the title points chase. And it's been a tough debut for Aaron Cook in his new Honda Civic, but now at least he was the fastest of the open two-wheel drive cars. Still not finding the pace of the Fiestas though. A heavy crash on day one had set back Lee Stringer, but after repairs and some work in today's first service, he was starting to close up the gap to the Group N cars, although still in 14th. And a steady drive too towards the open two-wheel drive title for Matt Summerfield of the Skoda. He was just 21 seconds behind Cook. Ewan Fuge still leading the classic class. But as long as Mike Cameron kept going, the classic title would be out of Fuge's reach for this year. While he might not be fast, Cameron was certainly pushing hard as the little 1600cc Lancer would safely go. So now just a repeat blast through the central Mangaoni stage before service. Not much would change here. Glenn Inkster scored his second stage win of the season. 8 minutes 27.8, just a second under Mason's stage record. Behind Emma Gilmore, just 5 seconds slower, now closing the gap to 6th place to 31 seconds.
Well, after service, there's 2 more stages to go, 31 seconds. Maybe she can do it.
So nothing to lose for Gilmore, perhaps a chance to just sit back, try a few things and go as fast as you can. Talking about fast, big action with the Fiesta battle. Malley holding a lead by just 1.7 seconds. Ben Hunt just edged out Daniel Harris by 3 seconds on the stage, so moved back into second. And Ben Jagger joined the battle. Fastest of the Fiestas on the stage. He would still be fourth, but had moved within 4 seconds of Harris. So it's easy street for Patton, still with a 51-second lead over Inkster, but Inkster now 20 seconds ahead of Argyle. Stephen Barker up to 5th place.
Can Emma Gilmore move up 1 more place to 6th? And what a great drive from Alex Kelsey in 8th place.
And look at that Fiesta battle, just 15 seconds separates Malley to Jagger.
Yeah, we're just conserving things a bit. You know, we've got a reasonable buffer, so there's no point doing anything silly and throwing it away, so we just backed it off and just enjoying it, really.
Yeah, 2 stages ago, a 51-second lead over Glenn Inkster, of all people.
Yeah, I see Glenn's doing a really good job, so it's great to see the open class cars are enjoying the roads. And but yeah, we'll just worry about our own game, and we've got 2 stages left, and maybe a good target is maybe go for the stage record on the last one.
And talking of stage records, this has certainly been one of the best days of the season so far for Glenn Inkster.
Yeah, those last 2 stages, I just absolutely loved them, eh? It was fantastic. We just tried driving maybe a little bit different, but just got hooked up and went real well. The 7K one was really, really slippery, so it was a bit evil, but yeah, the last 2, yeah, it's sort of like why you go rallying for us.
Great to see Inky doing well, and also Kieran Hall now taking over the lead in the rookie battle.
We're only 2.7 seconds behind Kingsley Thompson for the overall for the weekend, but yeah, it's going to make for a tight afternoon.
Patrick, you put in the charge this afternoon, currently leading the class now by 10 seconds.
Yeah, we had to show the guys that we still had it in us, put the foot down and have some fun, and we ended up with the result. I think a couple of the other guys had some dramas and 2 more stages to go, so we'll just hold in there and see what happens.
And stick around because that run home to the finish is coming up on day 2 of Rally Wairarapa. Welcome back to Trust House Rally Wairarapa. Well, the Fiesta class has produced some of the closest racing this weekend, and for Daniel Harris, his performance has been the opportunity to thank the Nelson supporters who helped him recover from a potentially season-ending crash in Whangarei.
I definitely thought that was it for the year, but on the drive home we started thinking about, right, what can we do to get back? And we came up with the idea of the fundraiser and started knocking on doors and seeing what people could do to help us out. And we put out we were having a fundraiser. We had people wanting to interview on the radio, putting ads on the radio, people ringing up wanting tickets, people that we didn't even know just from the Nelson region all wanted to come to the fundraiser and help, which was just amazing.
You've got the family involved here as well. They support you 100%?
Yeah, family is great. Jacinda, she does all the media stuff, website, you know, it's just everybody's in behind, and you know, we couldn't do it without my family.
So just 2 sprint stages left for the rally now, and what has turned out to be a perfect day for rallying. The task for Hayden Patton was simple: keep a cool head, take no risks, and he would head to Nelson as the championship favourite, while co-driver John Kennard would claim the co-driver's title with 1 round to go. Well, so much for taking it easy on this stage. The record is 8 minutes 28.3, and Patton takes 4 seconds off the stage record. Glenn Inkster had won the 2 previous stages, looks set to claim second today, going for his best result in the championship.
He certainly will, and he's pretty determined about it and carrying a lot of speed here as well. So maybe this could be record-breaking pace as well.
5 left plus again, 30. 5 left, 60. 5 right plus across finish, 30.
It's looking good.
8 left, 120.
Hayden's record's about to go.
Nice.
8:24, a new stage record on the same day. Unbelievable. Third looked the best that Jeff Argyle could do here. 8 minutes 33.5. He just couldn't match Inky's pace. Kieran Hall still 4th, but still under attack from 5th place Stephen Barker. Barker took 2 seconds off Hall, and so with 1 stage to go, the gap for the rookie battle was now just 5.3 seconds. So that's the top 5 going into the last stage, but plenty of stories throughout the field. Big disappointment for Josh Marsden, that hold up on stage 10, ruining what could have been 6th place for him today. The Camerons just had to finish. They did, and are now just 1 point away from taking that classic trophy, so we should see them at the podium in Nelson. 20th place for Tony Foster, but this has not been a good day for the South Island driver. And after winning the class on debut, Campbell Wilson also off the pace today in the Corolla. 18th place was all that Ewan Fuge needed to claim the classic victory for the weekend, but it's a long shot for him if he goes to Nelson. His only hope being the Camerons failing to finish both days down there. Another to suffer today, Sloane Cox just lost too much time off the road and would have finished 17th overall, and with that any chance of taking the junior title too. 5th Fiesta and 16th overall for Dominic Unterberger, but this young driver just hasn't been able to match the hot pace of the other Fiestas this weekend. We had a new open class champion on day 1 with Jeff Argyle. On day 2, Matt Summerfield makes history by winning open 2-wheel drive, becoming the first rally driver to win a title in a biofuel-powered car. He still has a chance also to take out Kiwi 2 at Nelson. This rally turned into a test session for Aaron Cook, but obviously plenty more potential in this car. Although he finished 13th, Lee Stringer should get quicker once he gets his Evo 7 sorted. Didn't really have the best car after his day 1 crash. And after a fantastic fight right to the end, Ben Hunt dropped to 12th overall on the final stage, so 4th place Fiesta. A monumental run by Ben Jagger, on the move to 3rd in the class and secure the championship lead by 60 points going into the final round. No sign of nerves after his Whangarei crash, and now working well with co-driver Paul Fallon. Daniel Harris took 2nd in class and an amazing 10th overall. But today was Patrick Malley's day. In the end, a 16-second lead over Harris and securing 9th overall. To finish 8th in a New Zealand Championship rally when he's only 16 is certainly cause for celebration for Alex Kelsey, but also good to see 4 top 10 stage times. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, just too much for Emma Gilmore to make up today. But without that penalty, she would have been 2nd overall. But some consolation in finishing 3rd overall for the weekend and keeping the championship alive going to Nelson.
Well, it's a mathematical chance, but if Hayden has any problems at Nelson, Emma could be right in there with a chance to win the title.
Not the 5th place of day one, but still a good drive for Kingsley Thompson in 6th. Unfortunately, though, the 2 drivers in front of him, both rookies, Barker finishing 5th, just 7.5 seconds away from Kieran Hall. So 4th for Hall, but more importantly, first rookie means that he moves to a 9-point lead in that battle over Matt Jansen. A podium finish for Jeff Argyle in 3rd, and with the Open title now in his hands, this will be his last championship rally for 2009. But finally, a great result for Glenn Inkster. 2nd place after so many small mishaps have stopped him throughout the season. What a top drive.
Top drive, all right. 3 stage wins. He's done well. 2nd place. Good on you both, Glens.
6:28 anti-lag off.
That's superb, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Well done, bro.
Well done, dude. Awesome.
Cheers.
But no one could stop this dude. Yes, the Wairarapa was the day 1 winner, day 2 winner, and the Rally Wairarapa champion overall for 2009, Hayden Paddon. He'll head to Australia before the final round to attempt to become the next Pirelli Star driver. But today, he and co-driver John Kennard can celebrate.
Hayden, well done. Wairarapa Rally, it's yours this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess it's the only one on the championship calendar we don't have, and it's a funny feeling, you know, like we were working really hard up until Richard had his accident. Like it was a really good battle, and we're pushing really hard, and it's the best the car's felt all year. And then this afternoon, it's been really funny, just cruising, and it just seems like the day's been dragging on, and so it's good. I imagine it was sinking once we get back, but to get the win here on Richard's home turf, that's excellent.
So in the end, it was Hayden Paddon who took out the win, 54.9 seconds in front of Glenn Inkster, with Jeff Argyle rounding out the top 3.
Emma Gilmore in that 7th crucial place keeps the championship alive.
Patrick Malley, the best of the Fiestas, right behind him, Daniel Harris, and Ben Jagger and Ben Hunt. In 16th place, Matt Summerfield takes out the Open 2-wheel drive title, but of course, all eyes are on this man to see if he can become the champion.
Yeah, we needed to get a good points buffer here, and that was our aim. We always wanted to come here and win the rally. I think maybe a lot of people didn't really give us much of a chance, but we made some really good changes since Whangarei, and the car's an absolute weapon, so we'll further develop the car. Obviously, Australia next with the Pirelli scholarship, which is vital. And then Nelson, we don't have to do a whole lot there to claim the championship.
Glenn, well done. 2nd place, first time in the podium. You must be rapt.
Yeah, I could not be happier, to be honest. It's been a really, really great day, especially the afternoon. We just seemed to go really, really well in the afternoon and get 2 or 3 stage wins in the national champs. It's a dream come true so far.
Jeff, well done. 3rd place is yours for the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good clean run. There was no real problems with the car or anything, and all we had to do, make sure we got to the end.
Basically sort of a cruise this afternoon for you?
Yeah, it's actually quite annoying sometimes to try and drive within yourself. You can almost make mistakes doing that, but luckily we didn't have the thing go wrong and got to the end.
Patrick, huge battle with the Fiestas today, and you came home in victory lane, 5.1 seconds ahead of the field.
I know, and it's not much, is it? It's a real close margin. I think it was 7 seconds overall for all of us into the last stage, and we stuffed up 1 point in the last 2 stages, and we're lucky to get it home, but ecstatic that we did.
So in terms of the championship now, Hayden Paddon heads to Nelson with a 61-point lead, but 74 points up for grab in the final round in Nelson. Ben Jagger leads the Fiesta battle, and more importantly, 7th overall.
And another New Zealand title to John Kennard. He has wrapped up the New Zealand Co-Driver Award.
Open 4-wheel drive, that goes to Jeff Argyle. Glenn Inkster, though, picking up some good stage wins today. Best career result. Open 2-wheel drive, Matt Summerfield. He's taken out that title from Reg Cook and Aaron Cook. But because his biofueled Skoda didn't qualify for the first round, he'll have to go to Nelson to do the double in Kiwi 2.
And Kieran Hall gets in front in the rookie title, but with Matt Jansen, it's very close. And Josh Marston in 3rd place, he's still got a shot at it as well.
And because Matt Jansen didn't finish the rally, Sloane Cox now gets a second chance in the junior battle. So as the celebrations wrap up at Wairarapa, we look forward to the final round of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. Set your stopwatch for Rally Nelson in September.